Thank you, Joe. My name is Kevin, like he just mentioned, and I'm going to introduce some of the gameplay to you. But first, I wanted to say that the title of the game is Scurvy the Seaweed Slinger, so you might have noticed swimming is not part of the title. And unfortunately, for our adorable little friend, it's not part of his abilities either. So in order to get around the world, he has his grapple claws, which can extend to the grapple hooks, which will allow him to get over this mountain of trash. And afterwards, he has his seaweed spinning ability, which allows him to do a multiple variety of things. One of them being turning this smaller mound into a trampoline, which will allow him to get higher up. And eventually he will be able to read a newspaper after all the hard work he's done. It's sort of taxing on our friend, and he can read about those crazy humans on the surface of the ocean. Next, he can shoot another one of his seaweed seeds at this jellyfish, which unfortunately is being stubborn right now, so he can't actually shoot it and have anything happen. But once his electricity effect is done, he can shoot it with one of the seaweed seeds and move on with the game. And to explain why there has not been any sound in the game yet is our sound lead, Chris Bidwell.
So, as he said, I'm Chris Bidwell, audio lead. And I don't know about you guys, but Scurvy's been a little too quiet. So why don't we fix that?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Scurvy.
Hello, these people.
Scurvy, they're your friends, your family, you know, people are just excited to see you, but... So, as you're coming and out here, Scurvy is a little crab with a huge personality. And we really wanted the sounds in our game to reflect the amount of life and character that he has. Because life is not quiet. It is loud, it is vibrant, it is full of sound, and we really wanted that feeling in our game. It was not easy at all. But thankfully, we had Casey Kaufman, our audio director, and he made the sounds exactly what we wanted. So, this went doubly so for our music. It took us a little while to agree on what we actually wanted, but we finally settled on the work of a man known as Jerry Dimmer. Dimmer's music and Scurvy are a match made in heaven. It is very light, upbeat, happy music, and it fits Scurvy perfectly. But you may be wondering how we got all this sound and music to play in our game. We use a program known as WISE. WISE is an audio programmer's dream. Oh, excuse me. The things it can do are endless. But one such example, the swing sound you just heard, it would get a little repetitive if it was the same sound over and over. So, with WISE, I'm able to have a whole bunch of different sounds that it will randomly play every time you swing. But WISE is not all fun and games. As you heard earlier, it is a nightmare to get running in your game. But it was just one huge obstacle we had to overcome. And to tell you about a few more is Paul Novak.
Thank you, Chris. Again, I'm Paul Novak, one of two internal producers for our team. We had a lot of obstacles to overcome during the production of Scurvy, things that we couldn't really plan for, that nobody could have foreseen before we began production. The first was university growing pains. We're one of the larger groups to ever come through Final Project, and as such, a lot of times, processes weren't in place to accommodate groups this large, in addition to Bad Apple. Rooms not being available, licenses for Alien Brain running out, things like that. But we managed to work through them, and eventually those got themselves taken care of, and should be better for other groups. Also, managing our asset pipeline proved to be a challenge. Originally, we had one artist and one person bringing our artist assets into the game. When JR joined our team in the art department about halfway through the process, our pipeline needed to expand because we now had two people making things for the game and only one person getting them into the game. This caused a little bit of a backlog that we didn't realize was happening until about 2 weeks after JR joined us. So we needed to expand that pipeline to accommodate the new assets being made. Lastly, for our team, module ownership became synonymous with module exclusivity. People became so expert at the things that they were working on that after a while they became the only people qualified to make changes to those systems. This prevented the internal producers from being able to space out workloads if somebody was falling behind. But after overcoming all of these obstacles, we have a lot of lessons learned that we'd like to share with you today. The first of these is that integration takes work. We have 3 different degree programs here, the Master's Students in Design, the Art Bachelor's, and the Programming Bachelor's degrees, all coming together with different skill sets, all speaking a different language. You have to trust each other that you each have the skills that you need to impact this game in a positive way, and figure out how to work together as quickly as possible. Next, don't sacrifice the stability of the game for gameplay features. This goes hand in hand with our biggest piece of advice: do not push code freeze. It's better to not deliver a small feature on your milestone acceptance than it is to try to cram all of the features in there and produce a game that crashes every 5 minutes. That'll result in a bigger problem for your grades and for your game as a whole. Lastly, cutting functionality affects everything else that has been done before it. We made a decision late in the game to cut animation blending as a piece of functionality on the tech side. Had our artists known beforehand that animation blending was not going to happen in our games, they would have done their animations differently to make them look a little bit smoother instead of choppy, the way that some of the animations transition from one to another. It's been a very long process. It's been a lot of things that we've learned about. We've talked your ears off about art assets, sound, integration, all of this, but I'm happy to announce that our presentation has finally concluded. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see